All right, time is 7 o'clock. Very good evening to everyone present for this 2 days workshop. On behalf of MTC Global Family, I extend a hearty welcome to my good friend and the resource person for this wonderful workshop. In fact, he suggested this topic, and definitely it's a much needed area for research scholar as well as for faculty members. So it's my great pleasure to briefly introduce Mr. Sahil Koul. He is an MBA gold medalist, so academically very sound and also UGC-NET qualified. Presently, he is engaged as lead program management, Bharti Airtel Limited, and co-founder, ex-CEO of SanRon Consulting Services. He has worked with many top corporate like State Bank of India, ITC Limited, Association of Computer Machinery, and also completed many other projects like software development, consumer behavior analysis on buying decisions in post-COVID world, etc. He has published 12 plus research papers in top international journals and also an author of a very popular book titled What Makes You Who You Are, which is available online. Anyone interested can please go for it. And he has received many awards. To name a few, prestigious Young Achiever Award 2020, MTC Global Excellence Award 2020, IST Award, Certified REBT Mindset Life Coach, State Bank of India Appreciation Award, etc. So it's a great pleasure, Sahil, to have you with us today and tomorrow. And I'm sure that his rich industry experience and exposure, definitely academia would get a lot of benefits and insights out of him. Thank you so much, Aditya. And please, Sahil, and please take over the session. We have another young friend, Aditya, who is a psychology expert. Just now he spoke, so his name is coming on top of my mind. Please take on the session, Sahil. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Rata. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to interact with everybody. Uh, and since we have Aditya also here, who's a psychology expert, so it will be a great session to have. So
Sahil,
firstly,
can you increase the volume a little bit? I
yes,
think, yeah.
is this okay now? Better?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, yeah, perfectly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So let's just begin this session. I'll just start sharing the PPT. Just let me know if it is visible.
Yes.
Yes, is it visible?
Yeah, yeah.
So now, before we just start, I'll just tell you guys a very good evening to all of you. And now, before we proceed, let us first understand the dire need of having this whole scenario with us, where AI has just started spreading its wings. So the title for our 2 days workshop would be different AI tools that we can use to convert research findings into engaging narratives and visuals for better impact. So since we are talking about visuals and we are talking about a better impact, I would suggest if all of us could just, just turn on our cameras so that we can interact better. I want this session to be a bit, interactive session rather than a classroom one-way, transfer of knowledge, so that we can all, you all can just turn on your cameras so that we can interact better. All right, let's just move ahead. So before we get into this topic, let me first tell you a brief about myself. So hi guys, I am Sahil. I am currently working with Bharti Airtel as a lead in program management. I'm a certified REBT life coach. I'm a technopreneur, a global speaker. I have been recently, acknowledged by the Indian Book of Records as an IBR receiver. I have another record to my name, which is registered in the Individual Book of World Records. I have been receiving the award from MCC Global as well as the Indian Receivers Forum. 12 plus papers published, one book chapter, and one self-authored book. It is titled as What Makes You Who You Are. I have delivered around 11 plus national and international talks, and rest all Professor Datta already has spoken about me. So we will directly, just understand the needs, and we will understand how everything AI is, overtaking and how it can help us in our research. So let's just move ahead. So I have kept this the theme as from research to resonance. You know, if I talk about research, research is a very lucrative field wherein everybody puts in effort, wherein everybody puts, their hard-earned efforts, and they just want to get some output out of it. But just I'll just give you an example. Can you just anybody of you can you just give me something what a research can be called as? Any research that you have heard of or you will be working on? Anything like that? Anybody of that? Is there anybody who can just tell me what research actually means? All right. Yeah, but I have a word. I guess. Please go ahead.
Yeah, research basically means searching for facts regarding a certain topic and then trying to evaluate what more needs to be done about it.
Correct. So basically, finding facts, analyzing facts, and deriving conclusions out of it. Research primarily takes a lot of our time. It takes a lot of effort. It is something that we go day in and day out, we research daily, and we just get to a conclusion. And since we invest a lot of time, the research also deserves to be resonating with the audience with which we are, working or in day life, with which we will be working. See, have you purchased a mobile phone? Anybody of you recently? Anybody of you who has purchased a mobile phone recently? Or maybe a year back? You see, in that, we have a box in which a mobile phone comes. And after that, we have a booklet. What is that booklet called as? It is called as a user manual, right? That user manual is basically a well-researched document that has been there that tells us how to use this mobile phone or how to use this device to get a better output out of it. But how many of us actually open that document and read it? Or for that per se, if we are if we are going through some activities and we have been given that this is the activity, this is how it has been researched, none of us pays the attention to text of it. So basically, that is why I wanted to keep the theme of this whole session as from research to resonance. It should not be like you have researched your entire life and you have came up with some insights which are actually changing the world, and then they won't resonate with the people, right? So in this workshop, in the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, we'll just understand how AI can help us to actually put forward our words, to actually put forward how we present things, to actually utilize and create an impact out of it. So that's how we will step ahead. Is that fine for now? Right? So let's move on. So this is a quick look at the content, that how we would be going on and how we would be, understanding this whole session. So this session will help us to understand what actually the AI can help you with, how beneficial it can be, and what can I achieve using AI in today's research world. After that, we will move ahead to how visuals are important and why visuals are important. Why we are, putting trust on the things that visually things should be more lucrative, visually the things should be more aligned to us. So we will learn about the association of these AI tools in the real world and the application of those AI tools in the research. Then we will understand how the design thinking works. Like whatever we have researched, how we can design that in order to impact more, in order to give a better result, in order to grasp a better and wider audience. After that, we will see some tools and we will actually work on those tools and we will actually, get something created out of it. So this will be a bit of hands-on also. So we'll see AI in the action as well. And later part, we will have some question answer round so that I will just spare 10, 15 minutes for the question answer so that you can, interact basically on how you can go ahead with your research style and how you can actually impart AI in innovation. So guys, this is what we are going to do. So now this is a broad idea that how research is currently approached as, right? Is this how research is approached as currently? We have a purpose for which we are doing the research or the research motivation, that why we are doing research. We start building up a hypothesis wherein we have an idea that we believe is true and on which we are going to research and for which we are going to find the answer. We have some fixed objectives of those hypotheses that we are going to achieve. Then we select a methodology that we are going to use to prove our hypothesis, and then finally we analyze on that hypothesis, we analyze on the thing, and we derive conclusions out of it. Is this how the research is basically structured? Right? This is how it is. Right then?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now we need to first primarily understand that why research has been, kept in this form. Why research is like this? That we first should have a purpose, then we should have, a hypothesis, then we should have some objectives, then we can go on to select the methodology, and then we will analyze and derive conclusions. So basically, as humans, unless and until we have some problem at hand, we will not research. Research is always a problem statement focused, right? So we always have a problem at hand. That is why we, start off analyzing about the solutions to that problem. We analyze the problem itself, and then we derive the conclusions out of it, right? Now, basically, what I said was that the prime reason for the prime purpose or the prime reason of research is to resonate. Correct? This is what we said. What we want to do is we want to resonate with the end user. We want to actually see how the end user responds to my research and what benefits the end user is getting. Right? That's true. Now, what I am going to show you on the screen, let me just bring this forward. So guys, what is this? You can unmute whoever wants to speak. What is this? What you can see on the screen?
Research papers.
It is a research paper. It is a research paper on placebo effect. And yeah, it is a research paper, a well-written document. Yeah, you are not audible if you are saying something. No, no, the content is not, yeah.
Yeah, okay now, Bhupati?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now,
Great.
fine.
Yeah. So, the content of the research paper is not the question here. The thing is that this is a research paper, a document that we can use, that we actually make in for. But if I, as an end user, have to understand a problem, would this solve my purpose as end user? No, right? I need something that I can understand. So I have to go through this all, and then I will be able to, recapitulate that what things are in this research paper. But what you can do is, in order to make people understand what your research stands for and what is the exact impact of your research, what you can do is basically this. This is called as an infographic. This is the exactly same paper transferred into an infographic. So now if a user has to, understand what the placebo effect paper talks about, he can just go through all of these and he can get a quick idea of your research. So what I basically want to suggest and give as an outcome to this is that whether the research would remain traditional in its way, it has to be black and white, but we as users, as end users, as presenters of that research, or as the people who have actually worked on that research, also need to create something that we can give to the end user to simplify that, to understand that in a better sense. So the main purpose of our research should be to resonate with the end user, not just to do the research and to derive conclusions. It should basically be the resonating factors that we are talking about. Correct? Now, there is a wise quote which says that research is not complete until it inspires action. Say some of you have worked their entire life on a research, and then they get to know that that research is not being used and it is just in those books and nobody is using that research. You will also feel on your own level that I have researched a very good thing. I have researched on a very, brief thing, and I wanted this to be used, and it is actually changing. It should actually change the world. But the people, due to the complexity of that research, are not able to get it. So until your research inspires the action, you should always be focused on simplifying your research and then presenting it in a simplified manner. Okay. Now, why we were saying that research basically is selling something to the end user which is visually appealing. Starting May, I think Jitender was the person who told us what research means. Jitendra was the person who told us. So he told us that research is finding facts and then analyzing those facts to derive conclusions. So rightly said, but if I just dig down a level down, I would say that facts actually tell us the things, but when we create stories out of those facts, they actually sell. So facts tell, but stories sell, right? And some stats, some facts, if I just present in front of you, those are that our brain, a human brain usually, transmits the information 90% in the form of visual things. So every end information is transmitted as a visual thing. After that, if I just go ahead, you would get to know that 60,000 like 60,000 times faster is the processing of visual content than a text content. So if you have a text content and somebody is reading your research, it will take him 60,000 times slower to understand if you are giving him a visual representation of it. Or just to sell this fact a little bit more, I'll tell you that in a 1-minute video, you can actually have a worth of 1.8 billion letters or words, right? So a 1.8 million word long paragraph or a long research paper would have exactly the same worth in terms of understanding, in terms of transmitting the knowledge, exactly the same as a 1-minute short video. So now after this, we are very much clear on the things that how the things will go on. Okay. So this is basically what I want to understand also from you, that how traditionally you are now working on your research. Like, are you using some tools, or are you using some kind of AI into it? What is basically the level of AI involvement in your current research? So you can just go ahead one by one. You can just tell me that what is the current scenario that we are going ahead with. Anybody of you can start.
Yeah. What I would say is that while doing the basic research and going through papers, I've used Scholarly to put in the various themes and all of that. But we are also told not to use AI, and we have to give a when we write down our research and all that, we have to give some certification that we are not using AI. So still a bit confused, because there are a lot of things which can be done, but whether we do it or not, it's a bit confusing as of now.
All right. This is one thing that we also need to address in this now. Okay. Anything else? Anybody? Guys, let's keep this, a two-way session, so that we have joined this session because we have something in our mind, right? So let's just put that thing in this forum only, so that we can help each other here. Like Jitendra has a very serious problem that researchers actually tell us, the guides actually tell us that don't use AI. So on what level can we use AI to understand the actual complexity of it? So anybody else? Let's just go ahead with it. Anybody else?
I'm using ChatGPT, sir, to get ideas only, but not fully depending on that.
All right. So you are using ChatGPT to just get an idea of how things are working.
Yes, yes.
All right. Anybody else? Somebody with some problem that you have in your mind that needs to be addressed, or somebody actually using some good AI software or tool to actually use. Is there anybody else? No? All right. So first of all, let us just address the problem that Jitendra told us, that we are told that we should not use AI in our research, and you have to give some certifications that you have not used AI. So yes, basically because there can be, AI is so advanced these days that there can be a fully written research paper that can be carved out of the AI, and then you can humanize that a bit so that you can present it in the human language, and it can actually lead to fake researches. That the person has done nothing, the AI has searched everything for us, and then we are presenting that as our own work. That should not be done, because since you all come from the research fraternity, you all have a responsibility of actually, having a research at your end that you can call yours, right? But on the same hand, if I tell you that there is a saying, why to reinvent the wheel? If some information is available, if some information is available in the public domain, wherein I might not reach directly and AI is helping me reach that, why should I not use it to the benefit? If I know 10 things and AI can give me 100 things, so why not to use that pool of resources? So basically, how we can draw a thin line between this is that we have to be ethically correct. We should not copy the entire research, but we should use tools to research to ease our research findings. Whenever we used to write research papers, we used to find references for the research papers from multiple areas. We use Shodh Ganga for papers. We use any XYZ platform to get the papers. But how would I know that how many researches are happening around the same topic? How would I know that? I need to know that also. I don't know the complexity. I don't know the quantum of research happening. Maybe there would be a research topic focused on consumer behavior. I would say that, yes, okay, consumer behavior, I searched on Google that give me consumer behavior papers. It gave me consumer behavior papers, like 10 of them. I studied those papers. But how can I specifically go and check that I just want this kind of a consumer behavior paper? That Google will not give me. And if AI is going to help me in finding those papers, I'm not saying that we copy the research from AI and we get the full paper written from the AI, but we can take the help of AI to help me ease the process of reaching to those, references to those papers, which will be duly referenced in my context. All right. So if I just move ahead, I'll address this question in more detail when we, do on the hands-on thing, that how we can use this AI. I'll go ahead on that. So now as I said, that complexity kills creativity. So let's just break the ice a bit. Some people are not responding. So let's just break the ice. So except the people who have already spoken in this forum, you can just type in. If you're not comfortable in speaking, you can just type in your answers. All right. So what can you see on your screen is the first question. What is this? Just type in your answers, or maybe you can just speak up. Musical notes. Nice. The other people, okay, Anjana is saying musical notes. Anything else? Anybody else is finding something different? Lines of musical notes. Yeah. So, okay, let me just help you with this. Now, what is it? Music language. What is it now? Lyrics of a song. Okay. Sequence of a song. Okay. Tunes. Yeah, correct. Tunes. Music of song Kesaria. Correct. कुछ और? All right. 1 minute will take for other people also to answer. Yeah, I have just simplified. Earlier it was just notes. Now you got to know, just I added a visual layer to this. I have kept it as Kesaria. So you got to know that these are the musical lyrics of the song Kesaria, right? Correct. Lyrics and tunes of Kesaria song. Correct. Okay. Now what is it? All right, now tell me how many of you, after watching this, this Kesaria theme, how many of you could actually remember the song? The song automatically played in the background. Did it? Right? Yes, no? Af- Yeah. So what happens is when we add a visual layer, so just correlate this with your research findings, okay? So the first one was a draft of a research paper. All right. The second picture that I showed you, wherein case area is written, the second picture is basically what? A well drafted complete research paper with all the information. All right. Still, it is a bit complex to understand that there are some notes and the song would go like this. But the moment I just created a banner out of it or a picture out of it, a visual form out of it, everybody just connected to the whole lines of those lyrics. The music of those lyrics started popping up. This is how visually things attract humans. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that research should not be done in black and white. It has to be done in black and white, but it has to be presented in a form. Whenever you are presenting your research, it has to be presented in a form that it can actually resonate with the end users. So in the similar way, this one picture has, imparted the song in your head, the similar ways it will do with your research. So your black and white papers would be a great academic asset, but the how you present that academic work would be what your selling story would be. That is basically how it is done. So, as they say, as Hans Rosling has said, that most of us need to listen to the music to understand how beautiful it is. But often that how we present the statistics, we just show the notes. We don't play the music. So whenever we are presenting our researches, whenever we are doing something with our researches that somebody is going to understand out of it, whenever we are presenting our research in the form of presentation, whether in the form of discussions, it has to be something that a music is played. It is just like opera. It has to be played in its true sense so that the person can feel that research, right? It has to come out for that person that yes, this person is actually solving a problem. This person is actually, addressing a real thing. I have seen in my career in corporate many good researches being drifted away because they were not presented well. Many great ideas being drifted away because they were not presented well. And many not that out of box ideas getting appreciated because they were presented brilliantly. So presenting is a key concept that we need to understand while we are researching. And AI can actually help us do that. AI can actually help us simplify the things rather than complicating it. That is the power of AI. That is what we want our AI to help us with. Correct? So now the question comes that whenever we are doing a research, right? Whenever we are finding any problem, we are solving any problem, we are doing any research stuff, what are the actual tools that we can use? Correct? So basically, we have a situation at hand where we can say that every research problem, every research analysis, or everything that we have in common, we can say is the writing part of it, the analysis part of it, and the presenting part of it. So these are the three areas where we can use AI. We can use AI in the writing part of it, not the exact paper, but simplifying wherever necessities are. Then we can use AI for analyzing the things. If we are doing some analysis work, we can use AI for analyzing that entire concept. We can use AI to actually present that whole thing to us, to present that whole thing in a way that is more user friendly, that is more impactful, and that is actually solving the problem. Right? These three areas are basically where the research would actually get its value, where AI can actually help me get the value out of that research. Okay. So we would have heard that if we have actually understood the problem well, and if we have understood and clearly identified our problem and written it clearly well, half of my problem is solved. All right. This is how we deal with the situations in research as well. So now, before we head on to the, to the complex part of actually using the things, we should understand that on what levels the AI tools are bifurcated. So basically, the AI tools are bifurcated in a general level in three levels, that is generative AI, predictive AI, and conversational AI. Right? A generative AI would, as the name suggests, would be a tool, an AI tool that helps me to basically generate something. It might be a text, it might be an image, it might be a video, it might be a presentation or whatever. This generative AI is using large language models, it is using large training data sets, it is using large information available in the public domain, that it is giving me the answers basis that. It is generative AI. The chat GPT that you use is a generative AI. It generates something for me. So the tools that we basically use, they are generative in nature. Then comes the second type, which is predictive AI. So what predictive AI is, it would basically mean something that helps me predicting a thing. So the type of outcomes that I get from Netflix when I watch, how many of you have used a site for shopping something? Have you been through this thing? Ki you are shopping something, and after that on Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere you will find ads related to that. You're not giving the data to anybody, but it is suggesting you things. Have you felt that? You can just drop in the chat box if you have. You have used a site somewhere, you have searched something on Amazon, you have used something, maybe, or just in, yes, ads come. Yeah. Yeah, correct. So this is basically when you search things. Have you also felt this? Like this can be varied. So for this, I would need, many people answering this part of it. So have you ever felt that you and somebody is talking something and you actually get those things in your Instagram feeds or maybe in your ads also? Like you have not searched anywhere. You are just talking. Has that happened? Like you have discussed something that I want to purchase a bike, maybe, or I have to purchase this XYZ thing, and it actually came up on your Instagram feed. Or sometimes you are feeling low. Sometimes you are feeling low, or maybe you're not in a good mood. So you will find out that Instagram actually feeds you reels like that. Anybody who has felt this? Yeah, Google Echo also does that. So not only Google Echo, any device wherein you have given access to your voice, access to your voice data or recording your voice, it does this. Maybe not on a larger scale, the bigger companies would be doing that, or maybe not with all of us, but yes, that data is being fed to all the AI machines as a test data, as a training data. And that data basically generates all the algorithms, that data feeds on the algorithms that Instagram, that maybe all the other service providers use. So basically, that is the power that AI in today's world has. We are feeding enormous data. It has enormous data. I was recently researching something for my own, for my own thing. So what I got to know was, I have never, I have first time logged that time. I first time logged from a new ID on ChatGPT, and I just randomly sent a prompt. I sent a prompt saying, "Do you know me? Who I am?" Like just a simple prompt. I just wanted to know what the ChatGPT would revert. I think I was believing that it would revert, yes, your name is this, your surname is this, all the information that the Google account would provide it. But it actually reverted me with the exact gist, the exact summary of my profile, which was available in public domain in different areas, wherein I would have logged in from the same email ID. So I was shocked to see that, okay, how this data is getting, these are three different companies, how this data is getting fed to the chat GPT, how it is fetching, so how it is crawling to all that data and getting it and then summarizing it and then sending it to me. Now, since this data was my personal data, I was giving access to them, they were using that data. But think that on a positive side, on a negative side of it, this would actually impact. But on a positive side of it, how beneficial can this data actually be for us to follow some research? Correct? For us to get a research which is exactly the similar, who has worked on the exactly similar lines, who can help me with this insights, how easily I can get that. Right? So now then comes the third part of the AI. It is called as conversational AI. So conversational AI is basically wherein we converse with the AI. It would basically be the artificial intelligence bots that are there that actually converse with you. You give them a prompt, they reply back to you. You give them a prompt, they reply back to you. That is the power the virtual assistants has. We all use Siri, we all use Google assistants. That is what actually the things happen in that. Those are conversational AIs. So we have three prime things. We have generative AIs, we have predictive AIs, and we have conversational AIs. Right? Now, before we move on to the next level of this workshop, I want all of you present here to just do one thing, just a brief, kind of an exercise we will do. What we will do is, we will understand what you all have got. So maybe you would be researching, or you would be, in the budding stages of the research, or you would be having a research paper and understanding how it can be used. You need to do one simple thing. Just write down the topic of your research, what the topic is. Just in the chat box, just write it down. I hope you all would be having some research at hand that you will be working on. Just the topic I need, the brief topic. All right. Let's just wait for 2 minutes to get some quick topics, more topics. We have got impact of sustainability and digitalization on the business models of companies, and religious tourism from Garima, and sustainable rural livelihoods. Come on, go ahead. Only 3 people remember their topics? All right, 1 more minute we'll wait and then we'll proceed with this thing. Okay, role of AI in stock price prediction. So Radhika ma'am, are you using AI in preparing this this prediction also? Like this research also? You're using AI? What kind of AI you are using? Okay, you are using AI methods. No, my question was that are you using instead of deep learning methods, are you using AI to research about things also, or you are just using the methods that the AI has? All right. So at least if this research resonates with all of us, you can get us rich if it can exactly predict the stock prices. All right, guys. So let's move ahead. Yeah. Yeah, guys. So let's move ahead. See, we have 4 topics here. All right. We have impact of sustainability. We have religious tourism. We have sustainable rural livelihoods, and we have how AI can help us in stock prediction. Right now, in this workshop, we will basically use some of the tools to analyze to help us ease our research. All right. The first tool that we'll be using is ChatGPT, that most of you are using. We'll use it on some level. We'll use Canva to just visualize things in a better manner. We'll use Semantic Scholar, and we'll use Research Rabbit. Has anybody of you actually used any of these tools? Except ChatGPT, because that's more of common today. Yes. Ma'am, which tool have you used? Canva, Research Rabbit, Canva, Research Rabbit, Research Rabbit for literature review. Great. Great. You are using Canva. So Aditya, you are using Canva for? All right, for different documents and content. Okay. Okay. So see, we will be using primarily these 4 tools to actually simplify our research, to actually understand how the research is actually imparted to the other party. So now what I want is, I since want this, this workshop to be two-way. So what I want is, in a single line, all the 4 topics that we have on screen, like impact of sustainability, what is the gist of your entire research? Can you just give it to me in a single line? What is it about? Just make me understand what your research is about. Just type in there. One line you have only. Okay. So Radhika ma'am has written prediction of future prices for trade to buy and sell, socio-economic impact for religious tourism. SRL is how people are earning money to meet their necessities and employment. All right, waiting for Jitendra also. How companies are adopting the digitization trends and sustainability requirements to improve business and meet various stakeholder requirements. All right. Now tell me, if I just raise one question again, that can you help me understand this from a point of view of, somebody who is not an expert in your field, somebody who's not actually expert. I don't understand stocks, I don't understand the economy, I don't understand how employment works, how opportunities are going to help me. I don't understand digitization as a big word. With the help of charts, yes, with the help of charts we can do. Yes, what else? Meanwhile I'm also showing pictures. Meanwhile I'm also getting the answers that what I exactly want to convey to you. So see, let's go with the first research. It was what Radhika ma'am said, that prediction of future prices of trades to buy and sell. If I'm telling you that I'm somebody who does not know stocks or anything, so can I say that this would be a kind of prediction where you would already know that what you are purchasing, you know the price of it, that whether you should purchase or not, right? This is what the whole research would be, right, ma'am? That I would be knowing if a product is in my hand, this is a priced economy that I have in my hand that I should keep with me. It'll help me in future, like gold, or whether it is just like an agricultural product that I should check if I have bulk of it, I should sell and earn. It should be like that. Now, to all of you, you should do one thing whenever you get time today. Post this session, go out there and just check what your research is and how you can explain that research to somebody who is out of your domain, right? With the help of charts, with the help of pictures, I can make him understand the concept, but not the research. With the help of charts, I can actually make him understand what the part of the research is, but I would say that, see, if I don't understand stocks, I would have to give him a layman language. So maybe there is a very efficient prompt that you can use on ChatGPT that explain me this as a 5-year-old kid. It'll give you, a very good output of it will give you a story that you can use to sell somebody. For example, in this stock market example, I would take this. So let's say I have to explain somebody this concept of stock markets first. So I would tell him that there is, a toy shop that he would relate to, that there is a toy shop which is having XYZ toys. Some are, priced more, some are priced less, and some are available for, penny stocks. Some are like just you can spend pennies and you can pick it up. But all those toys have something in them that when in the later stage somebody uses them, their price either raises or falls. So actually what Radhika ma'am's research is going to do is that she is going to understand and identify which toys are actually more price factor grown, and which toys are going to benefit in the future, so that people can pick up those toys. It is as simple as that. Her research would be predicting all the things in advance, that if I purchase this toy today, would it benefit me in future or not, right? That would her entire research be focused on. Okay, so a quick prompt for that is that explain this to me as a 5-year-old kid. So now if I do a similar thing for the digitization, part, explain as a 5-year-old kid. This actually I have used a lot of time in writing my research. This I have used a lot of time in presenting my research whenever I have, I have presented my research in many forums. I have used this to generate a narrative, to actually generate something that people can stick onto, to build a story out of it, to build a story out of your entire research. This tool I have used, right? So if I have to make somebody understand what digitization is, how could I just make him understand? I would tell him that digitization is something that instead of using chalk and boards on the paper or on the board, I would use computers, right? And if somebody asks me what is sustainability, I would help them understand sustainability in a very layman's language, that it is something that we are doing to help our Mother Earth also, that it serves our purpose, and we are also thinking about that how impact it will put on the earth, or how sustainable it is, how carry forward it can be taken on. All these things, all these simplified versions of your things or your researches would actually help you. Now, let's just go ahead. We talked about all these research tools, right? I'll just start off with one research tool today, and then we'll take on the rest of 3 in the next session tomorrow. All right. So let's start with Research Rabbit because you all have already used that. So I'll be using Research Rabbit. All right. Research Rabbit. So for using Research Rabbit, if someone of you has not already used that, it is just you can type researchrabbit.ai and you would be logging into that portal of Research Rabbit. All right. So let's quickly I'll show you. I'll just share with you the thing. All right. So you would be now able to see. I hope you are all able to see that. Right. So let's just move ahead and just take a quick look how Research Rabbit is going to help me in simplifying my research. So since we are talking about different, I have your papers also that you have already given me. I'll be using one of those only. So I'll be finding a paper on digitization, or yes, somebody saying something.
Can you take my paper, sir? Sustainable rural livelihood.
Yeah, please tell me. Sustainable
Rural livelihood and rural development.
right?
Yes, yes.
Let's see. So it just gave me few of the papers. So I'll just add one of them which matches my rural capital for rural. I'll just add to the collection. Just for the sake of, I'll add some more. Right. I have added 2 papers to my collection now. Now let's see what I can get out of it. You see, I hope I am audible, right?
Sir, yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, great. So see, you can see this ritual capital and rural livelihood. Basis these 2 papers, I am having 588 similar works. I can just click on this similar work and I get a list of all the papers that are available in the community. A list of them. Now, since your paper is basically focused, more on these will be the authors, right? Who have worked on the paper. They are your, when the paper was published, who was the lead author or something like that. So let's try to dig down into this a bit more deeper. Let's use this section more. Now understand, I have all these papers. Now I just want to know exactly wherein my paper fits in. So what are the keywords that you're using in your paper? Can you just tell me some of the keywords?
Rural communities.
Rural communities. All right. What else?
Employment opportunities.
See, rural communities, if I see, I can find these 2 matching results. So one is this and the other one is this. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And after that, if you just change this, you said me employment opportunities. Right? Employment
Yes.
opportunities, you can find these two papers as well. If you just, yeah, here you go. There are more two papers here, and these we already saw. And after that, you can just select those papers and get them downloaded and read them. So now, one important question that Jitendra raised in the earlier stages was, should we use AI and how much should we use AI? So this is the answer. To find out the relevant papers, you can use it. To find out the exact matches that actually the community work that has helped in the scenarios around us, to reach to those faster, we can use them. We can use AI to help me with that, to help me actually find out and drill down on that paper, so that I don't waste much time in researching about the things that basically would take me very less time. So this is how we can do. Let's do another thing. We'll just uncheck these two papers, or rather just keep it somewhere else. We will use paper to find AI to predict stocks. Search. Let's add this. Let's add this. Let's add this. I have added these three papers now. Now see, basis these three papers, if I just select them, right? I have found out some, authors wherein I have the publication. Okay, the detail is not there. Just a second. Yeah, somebody's saying something. All right, see, these researches were 2024 only. That is why they are not showing any results there. So we will go deeper into some older researches. Or we can change this also. We'll do stock prediction. See. Now, since we are using deep learning for event-driven stock prediction, we are having similar works like 1300 similar works. So I can just take down out of it. That what do I want? Do I want a deep learning? So deep learning, I have many papers wherein I can just go and check. This is how efficient it makes the whole work, right? Yeah. So now we will have some time to take few of the questions that we are, here. So let's just take some time to understand the questions that you will have in your mind till now. Any questions that you have?
So would this Research Rabbit website access the Web of Science or Scopus databases?
The access is free. This is open source.
No, Research Rabbit is open source, but
Yeah.
this would it access articles from Web of Science databases, scope of databases, or open
Yeah,
articles?
you are saying the open articles are there, and those works which are not there would not be a part of it. Are you trying to say that, or I'm not able to get your question? You're saying that how you can get these papers?
No. Would Research Rabbit access journals from Scopus databases?
Yes, I'll have to check once for that. Just a second, I'll see if it can. All right. So Research Rapid does not have an access. It has the access to basically Semantic Scholar, Crossref, and OpenLX. Only those tools it has the access, not to the Scopus databases. It does not have a Scopus databases access.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, but what you can use this tool for is, if it does not even have a Scopus, access to the paper, it would not have the access to the paper, but it'll give you, a line to draw between what exactly your research needs to point to, so that even in the Scopus databases, you can directly search for the things.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Anything else? Anybody else has some question? Yes, anybody? Is there any other question so that we can? All right. Since there is no other question that we have at our hands, so what I'll just brief you that what ahead we are going to do. So tomorrow, what we are going to do is, basically, I'll just pop in one research, and from that research, we will use multiple tools on that research to get a drafted version of it, which is visually presentable, which will help me in analyzing the data present in that research, and which will also help me simplify that research in terms of its language, in terms of its, its content. So we will be using generative AI into that. We will be using Canva into it. And for a, since I'll be using a research which will not be exactly a research, so we'll not use Research Rabbit more of into it. Research Rabbit was basically to show you that how, how AI tools have been there to help you get clear understanding of the work that is being done in your own society, in your own community. For any specific work, we can just pop into the websites for those. For example, let's say we were saying that we have to address the, the Scopus databases. So since Scopus is a very, close knitted database, you will have to have an API access for that. So it will not provide me with that API access. That is why these open source softwares are not, advisable to get data from them. Since AI is also, you cannot know that where this AI is going to use this data for, since it is open source. So it is basically kept a bit hidden from them. Otherwise, you can directly get into the Scopus database and start, searching for it. Start searching for the data itself.
Yes, for that we need access subscription.
Yeah, for that you need subscription.
But
There would be some ways, there would be some way outs that, that Scopus would have developed in with some organizations, or maybe your institution can help you with that. If you are doing it on an institutional level, your institution will have that, you will have that access to the database. So currently you are working in an institution, or you are primarily working in some company?
no institution, sir. But our institution don't have access to that Scopus and Web of Science. It's huge money they need to pay.
All right. So I'll take this problem with me today, Upati. So I'll just figure out that how we can help in getting access to the Scopus indexed or the Scopus databases also, so that the research can get easier without spending a lot. Because
Yes,
usually the institutions do have their access.
Yes, sir.
Maybe.
Please find out that. But Government of India, ONS, One Nation, One Subscription, through that we can access those articles. But still it's in progressing. We can't access.
Yeah, correct. So we'll try to figure out that if we can just go through the Scopus index, or maybe there is some free channel out there. I'll surely let you know that tomorrow. I'll dig down that. Okay. So guys, we'll rest the session today on this only, because tomorrow we will do more of a hands-on thing. We'll do more of things which will be actually converting something into something. So for now, we will rest the session here. I would request if
Sir,
anybody,
sir, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No
If you
issue.
don't mind, can you explain few more features in Research Rabbit?
Yeah, sure. So what exactly did you ask for?
Few more features, options, how I can use Research Rabbit.
Okay, few more options how you can use Research Rabbit. Right.
Yes,
Just let me just reshare with you. I'll just log in. I'll present again. Sure. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great. So see, firstly, you need to add a paper, right? Or you can add an abstract also. So let's see what I am going to add now. I'll just add a paper basis your rural. All right. Now see, when we use this, when we add these papers, now let me just select one paper only. I can, see this. I can see its abstract also from this one place. I can use a filter which can be show me the citations only, or maybe I can filter them basis recency, or first author. I can just type in the first author would be A to Z, or the last author would be like that. This is basic filters that I can use it. Then if I just move ahead, with within this section, I can create, a collection of papers wherein I can have my own, own collection of the entire set. I can select the other paper also and see how much work is similar. Like, since this is a 2021 paper, only 5 papers are similar to this. I can see all references of that paper wherein it has been used. The entire 35 references where it has been used. The citations that this paper has, who has given the citations, like what is the nature of citation that has been given, right? I can similarly do the same things for the other paper. See, 10 citations have been given to this paper. The paper is this Shakila Salam. So this Shakila Salam paper has got 10 citations from all these papers. Right? You can use this for actually checking what your paper is about. This is 2024 paper, so no much data on this. Then it can help you explore people in the research fraternity also. Like, who are the people who are actually, see, these are the 4 authors which are actually suggested for this paper. These are the 4 paper suggested authors are here. These are the 2 suggested authors. So you can, anytime you can just click on these authors. He's from Amity University. You can just go on LinkedIn, find this person, drop him a text, and you can just create that whole scenario wherein you can discuss with people the research, discuss with people about the things. So that's how this tool will entirely be used in terms of, easing the access to a person. Right? This we will also take tomorrow in a much more detail. If you want another session on this, we can just explain this tomorrow also, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we will take this.
Sir, can you share your LinkedIn? Already you showed in first.
Yes. Yeah. I'll
presentation.
just go back. I'll drop my LinkedIn also in this. In the chat, I'll drop. Just a second. I have dropped my LinkedIn also in the chat.
Not yet received, sir.
Yeah, it will be there.
Yes. Yes, yes, sir.
Right, I'm just pinning this down. So anybody who wants to just go through my LinkedIn profile, they can. Right, guys. So this would be it for today. Tomorrow we'll take on the hands-on things and we'll actually convert the research into some useful insights and into some things that the user would be interested to resonate with. I hope that this session has been useful for you and you will utilize these findings. More of today, it was a a session wherein we have discussed the nitty-gritties of research and how AI can be embedded into it. Tomorrow we are going to do a much of hands-on session with it. Okay, so hope that you have, if you have any questions, you can just fire in the WhatsApp group itself, right? So we